It happens every day and every year. One man, one woman in one house. Strangers become one and there goes a marriage. Sometimes happiness comes along, but sometimes trouble walks in and never walks out. What makes a good marriage? Some have many answers to this question and some have none. Today, songstress and philanthropist Angella Katatumba comes forward about her 8-year marriage, and later, Dr. Margaret Bleak Chigozi recalls her struggles as a half-caste girl getting married to a son of a staunch Moganda chief. Hello, welcome to the show. Angella Katatumba is a singer, philanthropist, and daughter to renowned businessman Mr. Boni Katatumba, who is also the Ugandan consul to Pakistan. Despite her beauty, fame, and money, Angella has kept the public guessing about her love life for quite a long time. The many suitors notwithstanding, Angella has not seemed interested in marriage at all. Today on the show, Angella Katatumba comes forward with her untold story of her failed 8-year marriage. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Justin. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming to interview me. I'm so honored.
Oh, really?
I do not take it lightly, I assure you. Who am I? Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Angella. Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the hospitality.
You're welcome.
How was your life growing up? You know, how was it growing up with a famous father?
Oh, my life.
Powerful family.
To be honest with you, Justin, I thank God for absolutely everything. I don't take anything for granted. I truly thank God I was blessed. My family, my brothers. I just thank God. And I don't take it for granted. And that's why I truly believe. That's why I started charity, because I think that if you've been blessed and you've been lucky to have been blessed, why not at least try to bless others with the little you have?
I know.
So this is
to
my
whom
concept.
much is given.
Yeah, much is expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
So Angella, when did you, why did you decide to have education? Is it university education in, out there, not in your country?
We grew up in Uganda. Went to primary school at the Katatumba Academy. It was a family school. And then after primary school, my father decided to send us to Canada. Actually, all of us went to different parts of the world, but my twin brother and I, and the eldest brother, went to Canada. And I did my high school there, grade 11 and 12. And then then he enrolled us in university in England, Oxford Brookes University, where I worked and I got a degree in law, an economics degree, and a master's degree in human resource management or international management. And then from there, I went to work in Chicago. So that is my education system in a nutshell. I didn't decide to go. It was just my father.
Angella Katatumba is the only girl child among a family of 8 children for the Katatumbas. She is warm and playful, but a very composed lady. She had a good academic journey and was always number 1 in school. Besides her good grades, she was a great singer who won a talent show.
I was winning all these talent shows. I was always so good at singing from an early age. So every time there was a talent show, hands down, I would win it. So the university's dean referred me to a club called Ponanas. They were a very famous acid jazz club in Oxford on Cornmarket Street. And they said, oh, we're looking for a lead singer. And he says, I have the perfect one for you. There's this African girl, she's amazing. So he gave them my contact. So I started singing there professionally. I was being paid £300 per gig. And it was a wonderful, great experience. Musically, I hit the ground running. That was in 2000. Actually, 1999 there, coming to 2000, because I was right in the middle of finishing my master's degree.
And how old were you?
I was actually 19. I finished my master's degree at 19.
Really?
Yeah, not because I'm so clever, but because when we left Uganda to go to Canada, we were just finishing P7, starting S1. So we started just learning biology, chemistry, maths, all these physics. So when we went to the equivalent of P7 in Canada, it was grade 9 and grade 10. But there we were learning PE, physical education, running around, sewing. So I went to the headmaster and I said, when are we learning physics and chemistry and maths? And he was like, oh my God, these kids are geniuses. But it's not that we're geniuses, it's just that the syllabus in Uganda
It's faster.
is much, much, much ahead than in Canada. So he upgraded us like 3 classes higher. We jumped from grade 9, 10, 11, 12. So they put us in senior classes. So we finished early, and that's why we rolled into Oxford at 16 early. Actually, my dad had to write letters to prove that we were competent enough, to start at university at such a level. So that's why I finished at 19. I finished very early.
After completing her second degree, she got a job as a lead singer of a live band that played at Ponana's Club on Cornmarket Street in Oxford, England. Ward Alonso was a stranger who often came to watch Angella perform. From stranger, he became fan, then friend, then lover, then husband, and later tormentor.
So when I was singing at the jazz club, I met actually this U.S. Air Force. To me, was very, very handsome looking man. Would come and he'd always come and watch me. It was a very famous club. We used to have Whoopi Goldberg would come and watch the performance when she would be in England. Val Kilmer one day was in the audience, and other people that I didn't know about. So
I envy you.
So I'd be singing, and this gentleman would come and watch me sing, and then one day he gathered the guts, and a U.S. Air Force guy, he was just finishing his final term in Bicester in Oxford. And he said, "Oh my God, I love your music, I love your voice." And we started talking. Before you know it, he asked me out on a date. We started dating. Before you knew it, we are madly in love.
How long did you date for you to get madly in love?
We dated for 6 months. Only 6 months. And the funny thing is, at that 6-month period, I'd just finished my master's, and he had just finished his last 4th term in the military, in the U.S. Air Force. So he was supposed to be going back to the States, and I was supposed to go wherever my dad has decided for me to go, because we would just follow my dad's program. Dad said, "Okay, now you're going to this country, you come and work in Uganda, you go work here." So I was now just on standby waiting for my dad's instructions. And we were in the dilemma, like, oh my God, you know what, the heat of love, when you think you're the ones who invented love. So 6 months we're into it, and then the guy, gets down on one knee and says, "I love you so much. Can we get married? Because I can't live without you." And clearly I couldn't live without him. And I said, "Okay." I said, "Yeah, I'd love that." So I accepted his proposal. So we got married in Oxford in England, 2000.
Tell me about, when he proposed. Did you communicate home?
It was the strangest thing, my father is very liberal. And I think sometimes, actually, I thank God for that, because he kind of like lets you go and you make your mistakes and you come back, I think. Well, we just called home, and I remember calling and telling actually it's my twin brother, Rejura, who kind of told my dad, "Hey, by the way, Angie's here on a serious relationship. She's even talking marriage." And my dad was like, "What?" He'd come to visit in England. And my dad we asked my dad, me and him, when me and Alonso, we said to, my dad, he asked my dad's hand in marriage. And my dad's like,
On phone?
No, my father had come to visit us in England. And my father was like, "If you love each other, who am I to stand in the middle of love? I'm happy that Angie's finished her degrees. I'm very happy with her. And frankly speaking, she's at the age where she can, follow her heart."
Angella got married to a man she later realized she hardly knew. When the party was over, friends and family gone, the pretense wore away. Angella started to see more than she could assess. She was young, naive, and trapped in a marriage in a foreign land with unfamiliar culture.
Alonso was from Chicago, so after getting married, we stayed in Oxford while I was finalizing my degree, and he was finalizing with the U.S. Air Force. And then when we finished, we moved to his hometown, Chicago. When you're married in the U.S. Air Force, they give you a house on the base. You get out of the dormitories or whatever, they give you a house. So that's when we moved in first. And at the airport, I remember one of the immigration officers saying, "Okay, you've applied for everything. Everything looks okay. You'll get your green card in 2 years." And we're both like, "Why 2 years? We're in love now. I need my paperwork now." And the guy was straight. He said, "Because statistics show that most marriages don't pass the 2-year period." And that was a shocking, reality statement that hit hard, and I was like, wow. We were like, nah, us we love each other. This guy doesn't know our love. Guess what? 2.5 years, everything was upside down. When he'd get angry with me and yell at me, I'd cry. Sometimes, actually not all the time. If Alonzo would get mad, he would grab the TV and break it. I said, what? Poof, TV down. Tomorrow, I'd buy a new TV. Break the glass, break the table. So he put me in a very intimidating corner where I was like, oh my God, I don't want to get him angry. That wasn't even my character.
So you feared the man?
I actually feared him. And I didn't know that I feared him.
How long for how long did this go on?
This went on till, actually, since when we arrived in the States, because it was frustrating, you know, living with his family, and then when we moved to the new apartment, and then I didn't even really realize what was frustrating him, but I really realized he started because he now enrolled into school. It now became like it was a competition.
Coming up on Life Stories, the worst comes to the worst, a life at stake.
There's a time I remember I was having dinner, and I was having this TV dinner table in front of me, and he talked and he didn't like what I said, and I think I dared to challenge him, you know. He just grabbed the table, the food went flying, and I remember he threw the table and it hit the wall, and the leg of the table came flying past me.
All right, Angela, let's take a break and we shall pick it up from there after the break. You're still watching Life Stories. This is the life story of Madame Angella Katatumba. At just 21 years, she got married. She did not know, she had no idea what she was getting herself into. 8 years down the road, she had a story to tell, a story of her life. And we continue with this story after the break. We'll be right back.